One of the warmest and most compelling stories in college football centers around the outstanding West Virginia place kicker, Paul Woodside. Jack Whitaker filed this report on Woodside.
A walk-on athlete who makes the first team at a big-time college football university is as rare as a picture of Walter Mondale campaigning with a suit coat on. They exist, however, but in numbers so small that you could invite them all over to your house for Sunday dinner. Here at the University of West Virginia, they have one such walk-on athlete you'd love to have at your house for Sunday dinner. Not only has he established 4 NCAA place-kicking records and been the center of the resurgence of the Mountaineers football program, but he has learned to live with a physical problem. His name is Paul Woodside.
Paul came to the University of West Virginia with the intention of playing football, despite a physical problem that would have deterred most people. The first man he contacted was Donnie Young, the recruiting coordinator.
But one day in July, very close to our fall practice, Paul Woodside just walks into my office, and you know, he looks like anything but a football player. He's a very frail young man, as you already know. And the first thing he did to me was never said a word. He just handed me a card. And as you might know, Paul stutters, and at that time he stuttered rather badly. And the card was the stutterer's credo, which he handed to me. If you don't care enough about me to listen to me talk, then you weren't worth my time anyway. It took him about 25 minutes to explain to me that he was a kicker. And so we invited him to walk on in the fall, and it didn't take our coach long to see that he was potentially a great kicker.
Everybody is successful or wants to be known as successful up to a point. So if anybody is harsh or mean or something against me, then I don't know, I'll use everything I have learned in sports and my experiences there, and it'll help me out in the situation.
To head coach Don Nalen, he's my man Woody, and he appreciates Paul's fine sense of humor.
4 years ago, and Paul kicked, he set a Peach Bowl record. He kicked 4 field goals, and his last field goal, he told the referee, we're going to have to quit meeting like this out here. And the referee just laughed, and, I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. He's just a joyful little guy to be around.
That sense of humor, reflected by this Peanuts cartoon in his locker, has helped Paul get through those unpleasant times when people laughed at his speech impediment.
You can learn much more about yourself in a situation like that, which I think is one thing that's helped me to kick, and on a Saturday not to get nervous or anything, is because I know myself, and I know how to handle myself if I get in a situation that might be tight or something.
The Paul Woodside story is uplifting at 2 different levels. First of all, as a walk-on who made it good, the underdog prevailing. But secondly, and more important for all of us, he has taken a physical problem and turned it into a positive philosophy. As Paul says, we all have stories to tell, but we need somebody to listen to them. This is Jack Whitaker at the University of West Virginia at Morgantown.